Hello, guys. I am Mr. AI. And today, we are going to look at percentages. And what is a percentage? It's fraction out of 100. So we're going to play a game of fractions out of 100. So this is a stack. And in this stack, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so let's do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on each side. Yeah. And then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's do another 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Then we have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're going to continue the pattern to fill this. Remember, all this is 100. Yes. But this one is 25 out of 100. This is also 25 out of the 100. 25. This is also 25 out of 100. This here is 25 out of 100. There's 25 out of 100. Yes, 25 out of 100. At the same time, this is 0.25. At the same time, this is also 0.25. And this is also 0.25. Obviously, this is 0.25. At the same time, we can simplify this to 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1 out of 4. This is also 1 out of 4. This is also 1 out of 4. This is also 1 out of 4. So now we're going to play around with this. So what happens, so let me place this here, this here, this here, and this here. So what happens if I put this together with this? If I put them together, and I put this together, so now you have no longer just 25. This is the 25 together. So this now becomes, so we have to scrap all this. And scrap all this. Yes. And this here becomes 50 out of 100. There's also 50 out of 100. Now 50 out of 100, we can also write 50 out of 100 as 0.50. This is also 0.50. Another way of writing the fractions is also writing it as, I see that as 1, 2, 2 parts, even though they're 100 little bits. So we can still have one big picture here, and there's another, so there are 2 big cutouts. So this 1 out of 2. Now let me just write 1 out of 2, which is this, and there's 1 out of 2, which is this. So these are the ways of breaking down percentages. So even though we have 100 little pieces, we can break it into 2 parts of 50, 50, 50, 50. And we can write it in decimals as 0.50, 0.50. Yes. And then that is that. We can also cause another separation. So we know that this here is 25 out of 100. This here is also 25 out of 100. Now what happens if I bring this 25 out of 100 yeah, 25 out of 100. Yeah, so I want to bring this 25 this way. Yeah, so going around once again. So we have this here to be 25 over 100. This here is 75 over 100. Yes. So remember that this can be written as 0.75, while this can be written as 0.25 if you remember. Again, we learned that this can be written as 1 out of 4. So we have 0.75 and then 0.75 and 75 over. Now this is the same as 3 parts. This was 1, 2, 3. So this is the same as 3 parts out of 4. So 3 large parts out of 4. 3 large parts out of 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is only 1 large part out of 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how we represent percentages. Now we can look at percentages also from the perspective of a number line. So we can look at percentages from the perspective of a number line. So we're going to set the 0 on the number line, 0, 0, 0. And on the number line, we have this here. So we first have our fraction. Yes. Well, first let's have a large percentage fractions. So we saw 25 over 100, 50 over 100, 75, 100 over 100. So when you divide them into 4 large parts, so you have first 1/4 for this. You can have 1/2 or 2 over 4. 2 over 4 still gives you 2 large parts out of 4 or 1 large part out of 2. And then you can have 3 large parts out of 4 for 75, and this 1 whole part, 100 over 100. We can reduce it further to this. So 25% gives us 1/4, gives us 0.25, and it follows in that order. Of course, we all know what the symbol for percentage is, and we can write that as 25%. We can write this as 50%, and so on and so forth. 75%, and finally 100%. Yeah. So this is what we have there. And then that does it for percentages, as you learned with Mr. AI. So now my words to you is bye-bye. Mr. AI says bye-bye.